Hey guys, it's me, it's Tim from TJ Wrestling, back again with another video this time, and this time I'm doing my personal top 10 favourite wrestling matches in WWE. And there's been a lot of great ones, so this list has been hard to make, but over the past couple of weeks I've kind of been looking at previous matches, and this list is both personal favourites and also just critical favourites of mine, and I think you'll enjoy it, and hopefully, you'll get something from it, maybe watch some of these matches, and appreciate all the great stuff that's come out of WWE. First up, we got the honorable mentions. On my list, I got Royal Rumble 2001. It's a Royal Rumble, and it was the best Royal Rumble. There's probably no denying that. It had star-studded main eventers. It had a variety of wrestlers, a lot of storylines, celebrity guests, surprises, and I thought it was just really good and enjoyable. Also, I have Mankind versus Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell. I can't remember which one this was the most memorable, probably one of the most memorable moments of WWE. Of course, Mankind falling off the cell. There's also the studs in the ring, and it was really got me into Mankind in the first place. One of my favorite wrestlers, and also I think it's such a great way to get involved in wrestling if you're not really a fan of the actual wrestling, because it's just a magnificent moment and it's so hard to take your eyes off it. So, Edge versus Kurt Angle on SmackDown back in 2002. Now, this was a culmination of a three-match feud between the two. It was a hair versus hair was the last match, and we see the cocky Kurt Angle heel take on the newcomer Edge. Now, this was a time where this is my favorite period of Edge's career. Honestly, I don't know why. I just think he was better before the Rated R. I don't know why, but I think this is before he became, Rated R superstar, whatever. And Kurt Angle was at his best in wrestling. They both had to put on a barnhouse of a match, and I think this was a really, really good match and really underrated, I think. But yeah, it was a really good culmination. We got to see the rise of Edge, and we got to see Kurt Angle put over someone with grace and style. He was in a steel cage, which added to the factor. And I think there was a lot of energy in this match, and a lot of emotion in it. And I think, I wanted to fit these two wrestlers in my top 10. I didn't know what manner to put Kurt Angle in, because I think he's had a lot of great matches. But to be honest, it's not his best one. But I just think he just meshes so well Edge. I had to put him on this list. So there you go. And also finally we got Cedric Alexander versus Kota Ibushi, and this match nearly made the list. It's probably one of the best wrestling matches down to pure wrestling that I've ever seen. And before this, I've never really knew anything about either of these wrestlers. So for some match to get me so involved in these few wrestlers and really get me on the edge of my seat, it's some feat. And I think it was a perfect meshing of styles, and it was a perfect storied match. Now, let's get into the main list. Number 10, Randy Savage versus Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 7. Yes, I don't think this is going to feature on a lot of people's lists, but I think this match was an absolutely incredible storied match. And I may disagree on saying that this match isn't exactly a great wrestling match, but I think this match showed off the best of two of my favourite wrestlers of the Golden Era, especially Randy Savage and also Ultimate Warrior, because they're such great characters, and they pull this off with style and grace. I think the ending of the match is also includable, because we have Miss Elizabeth returning and the reuniting of the two, and the face turn of Savage. I love that. And I think that this match just pulls together a really great narrative, and again at the end does tie it nicely with a bow. So this one, again, great match. Number 9, Sheamus vs Daniel Bryan, Extreme Rules 2012. This was the very first wrestling match I ever saw, and it was a great way to start it off. And my first ever wrestler I was a fan of was Sheamus, and I thought he was incredible. And this match proved that with style, because this match was a very, very good match. It was 2 out of 3 falls, and I remember it just being the holes they put on each other. The chemistry these guys had together was incredible, and also the submission factor was really a very much good factor in this match. And oh my god, the pacing of it and just the timing of everything, I feel like this match was amazing. And basically, it comes on the list because my first match I ever saw. I have good nostalgia for this match, and I think it's not the best match ever, but I think it's just a great example of pacing a match and just making a match feel like a tension on the line in it. Number 8, TLC 2 WrestleMania X7. This match is a perfect example of taking something and making it great. They took ladders and they made it great. We had three of my favorite tag teams. You're going to see Edge again in this list. Edge and Christian, Dudley Boys and Hardy Boys. Very much enigmatic and extremely skillful tag teams that work really well as tag teams, in my opinion, and work probably better than on their own. And these people were insanely good in this match. This match took what was originally a really good concept and took it to the limit and proved that it could really work, and has obviously spawned a lot of, Money in the Bank and all that, and it's really been a trendsetter. And this one was the original. I think it's the best that they've ever had a Money in the Bank ladder match. This one, again, it's probably the same lineup. It's not Money in the Bank, obviously, but yeah, I really loved it. There's not much bad to say about this match. I think you've already seen this match before. If you haven't, go check it out, obviously. Not much more to be said. I think this is a really, really good match. Number 7, and I have Sasha Banks versus Bayley at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. Yes, this is not the 30-minute Iron Man Classic that they had, or Iron Women I should say, but this is the original, and I think it is the best, because we got to see a classic of pacing, timing, and absolute excellence between these two women. It showed that women can do it just as well as men could. It stands alone on itself as a really good match, and also it spurred on a women's revolution, which I think would affect the company for years to come. Yes, it made me love these two wrestlers, and also I think personally it's just a special moment. I just think it's great, and I think it kind of marks the height of NXT at a point. So yeah, I think this really could do no wrong. I think it's just really good. This number 6, we have Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. This match featured a historic double heel turn, blood pouring from the match. We got to see the best and worst of both wrestlers, and this match was actually incredible. Great moments in it. We got blood from Steve Austin. Such a good match. I keep saying such a good match for every match. I've just noticed that right now. But yeah, enough can be said of this match. I think this is kind of underrated of a match, so I would appreciate you guys going and get out of your way to see this match. What else can I say? But great match. Number 5 is one which could be debated because it's technically ECW, but it's a no-brainer if we're going to include this in WWE, and technically it was kind of owned by WWE at the time, so I can say it. It was RVD versus John Cena from One Night Stand 2006. This was a crazy, crazy match because it's kind of like one of these kind of stand-in-time things, because it was so crazy to see John Cena come into a crowd and be absolutely booed out of the building, because this is at his peak, basically, as the babyface that everybody all the kids cheered for at least. And yeah, just like Money in the Bank, again with Punk and Cena, it was very similar to that. But this was really, really good. RVD is one of my favourite wrestlers. They put on a really good match here, and I really, really loved it. Yeah, I think this is an absolutely great match. Not much to say else. RVD for over and win the WWE Championship, and simultaneously hold the WWE and ECW Championship was crazy. The spots from this match, I think it was just great to hear the crowd into this match. I don't think I've heard a crowd as good as this, in my opinion, ever, and that kind of made it for me. Also, I think RVD is just a great wrestler using the chair in this match, and John Cena really was put on a decent match here. I can't put him down in this one either. He stood up and worked with RVD. Yeah, so there you go. This was a personal favourite of mine. Number 4, and of course, it's such an overdone match, but it's Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania 25. Yeah, of course I'm putting this match here. Why not? It's better than the WrestleMania 26 match. I think it's Undertaker's best match. It's Shawn Michaels' best match. A great crowd, but oh my god, what a match this was. I mean, there's not much else to say. Undertaker's peak. I would say it's Shawn Michaels' peak. I think Shawn Michaels kind of already peaked pretty much in the Attitude Era, but then again, I think in 2002, 2003. But oh my god, these guys can just pretty much pull good matches out of a hat. They're both WrestleMania legends, icons, and they tore the house down with this one. It was So historic, so memorable. I can't I'm keep going for a few days talking about this, but yeah, great match. Number 3, and it is The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania X7. This was the second match they had in their 3-match WrestleMania run, which stemmed between, I think, WrestleMania 15 and WrestleMania 19, and this was their best. It was at the peak of the Attitude Era, pretty much the peak, I think, basically the peak, well, kind of afterwards, but still, it marked the Attitude Era with finest of praise, and it was just such a damn amazing match. And yeah, great moment. Stone Cold turns heel. Honestly, yeah, I think it was honestly a weird decision to go with that, and we see what it does in the past. But I think at the time it was something new direction, and I think it was great for the company to do that, to take that risk. And I think, I don't know, I just think that this was really good match just for the two showstoppers that were in it. The crowd were into it again, and also just, yeah, there you go. Two of my favourite wrestlers, my personal favourite wrestlers of all time. Number 2 on my list, we're getting very close, and it was Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, Team DIY versus The Revival at NXT TakeOver Toronto. This was the greatest tag team match you've ever seen. Come on, it's the greatest tag team match of the week. I don't think you can pretty much deny that. What else can be said about this match? Oh my god, I've never been so amazed by a match in WWE, probably ever, to be honest. It was exciting, surprising, and had everything you want from a match. Lots of turn, lots of close falls, and also we got to see 2 or 3 falls, so we got to see even more of that. Shenanigans and The Revival, their sort of tag team style. It can't be denied that The Revival are the best tag team I've ever seen. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, that kind of relationship there is really good, and I don't know, just the for me, it's just the techniques that Revival used to work together as a team was one of the greatest things, and also the finish with DIY triumphing. It's just you can't make this stuff up. You can't, it was such a great moment at the end. I think that harks back to one of the best moments in NXT, and yeah, it can't be denied. This is an amazing match. Finally, guys, without further ado, number 1 on my list, and is probably one you don't expect. It's a personal list, of course, so don't complain at me. It's my list. It's not the definitive best matches. It's my personal favourites. And it's Kevin Owens versus Finn Balor at Beast in the East. Special event. It wasn't even a pay-per-view. And this was where Finn Balor finally won his NXT Championship. The reason I'm putting this on the list because I followed the historic career of Finn Balor from debut NXT, and he's my favourite wrestler of all time, and I got behind this guy from day one. I loved his demon gimmick. This is at the height of his demon gimmick. That's why he's not as good in the main roster, because he doesn't have the demon gimmick. The demon gimmick made it amazing because he would only use it at pay-per-view events, and he would win. He would always win with the demon at this point in time. So he was invincible. So defeat Kevin Owens, who again at the time was a great wrestler, and win the title, especially in front of his old Japanese crowd, was crazy and really good. Doesn't matter what happened in this match, I don't really care. I don't remember the match so well. The moment of it was great, and just, I don't know, 2 of my favourite NXT characters. This is the height of NXT, which is again my favourite point in all of WWE. Again, NXT I don't think would ever reach this height again, in my opinion. That could be debated, but whatever you want to say. And yeah, such a special moment for me in WWE, and it kind of brought me back to WWE at this stage, because I was losing interest, but NXT brought me back. So again, this is kind of why I'm here in the first place doing these reviews. It's pretty much because of this match. I can pinpoint it down to this match. So there you go. There's my list. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Make sure to leave your comments, subscriptions, and all your opinions on your top 10 list. Leave them down below. Again, at some point, I think Jordan will be doing his top 10 list of favourite matches. And so there you go. And yeah, hopefully you agree with these or disagree. Give your opinions. I'll see you in the next video, and subscribe. Bye, guys.